Yo, welcome back to Blazy B, where I'm blazing on B. And you know what? I got to talk about energies, matching people's energies. So I work at a coffee shop, right? And customers all day, all variety of customers all day. and and I kind of match their vibe, not even thinking about it, like it's just innate human thing. So like, I'm a perky as fuck motherfucker. So it's like, "Good morning. How are you?" And they're like, "Hi." Like they kind of get jazzed, you kind of get someone's energy and you're like, "Oh my god, yes." Like you're serving, so I am too. And so, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like just I totally, oh my god. Like, "Hi, good morning. How are you?" And then the person's like, "Oh, good. How are you?" Or then you get the "Good. Yep." Or just "Good." And then they stare at you. Or the people that and like to respond, you're like, "Okay." You just go back to it. You're not like, "Oh, good. Glad to hear it." I'll respond in a nice way too. But like need to have that prompt of someone else accepting. Like, "Good vibes here, dog. You hear me? Hey, I acknowledge you. You acknowledge me back. I appreciate you. Now what can I get you? Happy to help." But then when they step up, no greeting, or it's like, "Hi." And then they're like, I need a coffee." And you're like, "You twat," and you're like, "Okay." And you just shut down a bit because you're matching this person's energy. And I feel like I'm like, "Oh my God," I'm like dimming myself, but I'm unknowingly doing this because, well, you're a twat, so I'm gonna be a twat. and it's just my tone of voice shifts so quickly depending on situational things. So yeah, "I need this." Okay. Or they're like, "Fine." "How are you?" "Fine." Like, "Cool." But I do love the people like, it's not always like that energy because you get those people that are just like, they smell of the ganj and they walk in and they've got clothes that I would want. and, and they're like, I'm like, "Hi, good morning." And they're like, "Hey." And then I resort to my normal like, "Yo, how's it going?" And they like appreciate the vibe matching. So I feel like, the customers that bring the energy, man, I'm going to give it back to you. But the customers who don't, man, I'm sorry, but you need an adjustment. You to your attitude, not me. I'm vibing. Don't bring me down unknowingly too. Like I don't want to match your tone. I don't want to be a twat, but you're giving me the twatties, so it's on you, dog. Oh man, stoners are the best, I would say, just the vibe check. Or people wearing like cool outfits. I'm always like, "Okay, let's look at the fit." And then when someone gets to talk about themselves, oh, they love talking about themselves, which everybody does. I love it too. And so, you get them talking and then you're like, "Oh, we built a rapport in like 10 seconds. Like this is what baristas do." And then everything's good. Like I feel like the whole vibe of the shop is just dependent on customers and staff. And no matter what we do, we really try and like bring the vibes. But some people get in the way of these vibes. Oh my gosh. Ugh, the vibes. It's just the general public. If anyone works with the general public, you know what I mean. You just have a variety of humans, ages. I mean, granted, we are in a small town, so it's like everyone is everyone knows everybody. So that's another, I mean, you're like, you stand out when you look unique or you are not from here. And everybody knows it. And it's fun to see those vibes because, the coolest vibes are coming from out of town. They're like passing through travelers. And you're like, whoa. I mean, we had these like Aussies all summer and they were so nice. And, just brought the vibes. Bring the vibes, people. When you go to a coffee shop, bring the fucking vibes. If you can, that would be great. Because everybody needs a booster and a pump up. And, I don't want to be all day. I want to be high all day. So keep that in mind. Vibes. You just like feel the vibes. But it's not just vibes. Oh, accents. I also, maybe I'm just like a mockingjay. Like I just mimic people and I don't try to do it. It just happens. But like with accents too. I feel like accents come out all day long just because that's who I am. But if someone comes in with an accent, like a accent, oh man, it takes so much of me to not just like respond in that accent. Like it hits my tongue and I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. Swallow it. Swallow it. Swallow it. Swallow it. You know what I mean? Or you're like watching a show for a long time and then you're thinking about the lines and you can't hear the lines not in their accents. For instance, I watch Dairy Girls. I love Dairy Girls. And that's like, oh, Gollum. Like I can't even do it. But they're so Irish. They're so Irish. And they kind of have the Wisconsin like fluctuations, but they're just, oh my God, Dairy Girls. And so when I think about, granted, I cannot do that accent unless I've been watching a lot, and I have not been watching a lot. But that accent's great. Highly recommend Dairy Girls. Oh man, but it's a thick accent and you just want to give it back to it. And oh my god. What other accents? I mean, Australians, like that's so easy to just be like, yeah, responded. And you're like, fuck, fuck, I just did that. Fuck. it's it's different. After I watch Bridgerton or rewatch Bridgerton, I just want to talk kind of in this way that I feel like I just am like a little more posh. You know what I'm saying? I'm not great at accents. I can't hold them. That's the beef. I can do a snippet if I'm like, going off of someone else's words, but I can't like hold that for a day. It's just like not possible. Actors that can hold accents, whoo, you are incredible. Good on you. Good on you. Good on you. But yeah, I feel like that's pretty offensive. to, to respond to someone in your not native accent, that's their native accent. That's a little messed up. So I'm trying to be better at that, but it just kind of, I feel like it's a natural thing for me. It just comes out. And that's kind of how my mouth is anyways, like accent or not, a lot of swear words as we know. Mom hates that, and I feel like now it's kind of just second nature, which is awful. I can tighten it up, but I've got some leakage, a little leakage. I just it just comes out of me. It's the words I'm most comfortable using. So, oh man. Yeah. So I gotta work on that. We all gotta work on things, right? Maybe I should just work on getting better at accents. And then I'm like, no, I'm not native. I would not pretend I'm like from there. Well, maybe. Depending on the day. Depends how big of an actress I want to be. And a fail. I just know I'd like laugh, make myself laugh, and be like, yeah, someone blew their cover. But oh man. I wish I could meet like a really grumpy British guy and just respond in a very grumpy British way back. I don't know how that would go at all. That would be bad. That would be bad. I think that would be bad. So yeah, I kind of do hope that happens. That would be an interesting thing. You pick up the vibe and the language. Weird. I don't know. These are thoughts I have. Anybody else? No? Me? Yeah? No? Let me know.